Hello, this is Patrick, and good morning. This is a very interesting day. I said my prayers, and we are at the threshold of great changes. I wanted to say quickly before I forget A, the bill Trump signed yesterday was the first manifestation of huge changes coming. Because when you look at this bill, you're saying this doesn't make any sense. Yet, it's almost a quiet desperation between all the parties to get past this point. They didn't want to sit down and fight and close down the government because there's more important things to do. I am getting, for example, like Schumer got his gateway projects of 9 projects. I don't even know what they are. I haven't looked at them. They're like bridges and tunnels and things in Newark or New Jersey and New York City, and the price tag is going to be astronomical. Whatever they told us, it's not true. It's one of those hidden projects that's just going to blow up. I actually get it; it'll never get built. All right, so they put this bill through, knowing to make everybody to go back to sleep, and everybody's angry at Trump. And I did douse he'll lose. Right off the bat, he'll lose about 25% of his base, and he'll be able to recapture about 70% of that in time. I'm the only one covering this. So he'll be able to recover. He'll lose some of his hardcore followers. I don't know what that comes out to be, 5 or 10% or something, you know. So it's not the end of the world, and this is a calculated move, and it has to do with the economy and our geology changes, our climate, our space, our Earth. There are going to be changes there. Is there an asteroid coming? Things of that nature. So they have things. This bill is proof that this is coming. And I did test Schumer and Donald Trump's prediction of the future. Trump knows more about the future than Schumer does. Schumer has 40% economic view. They tell these people what's coming down the tube, and Donald Trump has about 75%. So he has a clearer picture of the dire straits. Now, someone asked me the difference between Holter and someone on YouTube. I never watched it, but someone filled me in on him a little bit. And I can't. Mark Taylor. Mark Taylor's a Christian with visions, and he has visions with God and things. I don't get Mark Taylor being accurate. He did predict, I believe, Trump would be president, and nothing else. I get very low reading on him to be accurate. Now, most Christians are not accurate. Their information when I douse them. Most tarot aren't accurate. Why is that? Now, there are some that are very accurate, and I actually look at some. A couple people that are very... I should make a list and show it to you who I think is accurate. But, it doesn't mean you can't listen to some of these other people. But the same Hillary tarot readers are still with that bent. And that's not the way to do it. You really got to step back and be de-emotional, if there's a word. You can't have skin in the game in your reading so much. You can have a little bit, but you have to be cognizant of how are my emotional beliefs impacting the reading. And the real good readers can step back and do that. And when you have friends that are intuitives and psychics and things, they go to each other all the time. You say, what do you think of this in my life? Because they know they're influencing the reading about themselves. It's like being your own doctor. It's better to get, removed from it so you can get a clearer picture, the channel to your higher self. And that's the difficulty with using your own. Uh, you're your own doctor when it comes to intuitive arts, but you can do it, and with practice, you get real good at it. You know, I remember I had a dream one time, and this is not good, but I didn't care. Okay, I had a job, and in my dream, I was in a. This is many years ago. I was in a supermarket aisle, and I could hear the owner of this business that I worked at yell out, "You're fired!" And this was a couple of months before. So that's I am not emotionally attached to this dream. I wake up. That's an easy one to interpret. I said, "Oh, my days are numbered," and I went on, and I actually resigned from that job, knowing that that was coming down the tube, and it was for a couple of really weird reasons. It was kind of funny, but that's how life works. And then when you do a tarot, well, you should get something like the Ten of Swords or something, or the Ten of Wands. That would be there. So they should complement each other. You know, your visions, your dreams, your tarot, your I Ching. And your gut feeling. Your solar plex should tell you. You walk into work and let's say it doesn't feel good. You're thinking of buying a stock. It doesn't feel good. You really, that's your first line of defense. You have all these tools that the universe gave you. And so anyway, I went off on a tangent I didn't want to go on, but that kind of explains a little bit. So on the front, I think there's going to be, as I keep saying, there's just going to be really dramatic change. And this bill was the first really manifestation we had of something big coming. Something is coming. And they know it. And that's why this bill doesn't make any sense. Why did they give Planned Parenthood, $500 million? Why did they, I can't keep a track. No money for the border wall, nothing. No money for the illegals, like catch and release, whatever. I mean, it goes on and on and on. You're going like, what the heck is this? This is like the Democratic platform. It's not. It's really a platform for the umbrella organization that runs the government in the country, and I don't know what's going through Trump's head, all right? But it's all pointing to the same direction. We talked about this a year and a half ago when we said Ivanka will be president. It doesn't make any sense. Well, how does she get there? Well, she has to become vice president. That's how she gets there. And what does Trump get to do on this? Well, he gets to pick the VP, and then it goes to Congress, the Senate and the House, and they okay it, And I think it's a simple 50% vote. So I don't know what's going on with Pence, why there's this falling out. Now, officially, it looks great. They shake hands, they smile, they're doing their jobs for the cameras, but something else is going on. And I'm not sure. You don't know Trump's. I think I always get Trump's motivation is uh, he's giving back to the country, to the people. That's his motivation. So all these decisions ultimately lead to giving back to the people the power that they have, and they'll probably need it if we get hit with a economic hiccup, if we get hit with a meteor or a tsunamis or earthquakes, whatever. It's going to be the regional people that fix things. So he's doing that in one way or another. This is giving the power back to the people, and we're going to dismantle. I see the physical size of the government shrinking the next 2 years dramatically. Why would it change dramatically? Because this system can't work the way it's set up. It's not. So when you look at, somebody wrote a comment, thank you. I was going to write a comment back, but I'll just say, so Bill Holter is his name? I should go look at him because he got an extremely high accurate reading. I'm sorry, because someone told me what this guy is saying, and he douses to be very high accurate. The Christian uh, people. So he said, and then Mark Taylor, I don't get it accurate. I get like 15%, and Bill Holter is like 90%. All right, so that's the difference. They have dreams of big changes, and even some of them that said that Obama, a couple years ago, they said Obama would stay in as president. Well, they got that part right in their visions, in the sense that he thinks he's still president. He wanted to stay president, and his sidekick, the lady that ran the presidency, was uh, whatever her name is. What's her name? She got like she was like 60% of the presidency. That's just she was president, and she was this wacko from Chicago. She was a slumlord, and she was I can't. You know who I'm talking about. And then Biden was 25%. So between that lady and Biden, they were the president. Obama was nothing. Obama loved the job. It paid well. You get to eat, fly around, and look important. But he was not president. He was an actor. He was hired to do this job, as is Zuckerberg is an actor. Elon Musk, they're actors. They're just doing these jobs. These are all just fronts. And now it's coming out that who's running this stuff? What is tech? The tech are just these government institutions that are run by dark entities. That's kind of like how it is. You don't have to go out and prove to anyone this is true. And then I had someone. He's not important, but it's interesting. A troll-like individual subscribed to me, and he goes, all religion is bad. It's like Mao Zedong. And he said all religion is the opiate of the people or something. No, atheism will leave a big hole in your heart. Now, I differentiate between religion and spiritual, and it's a critical difference. I'm not critical of people being with a religion, but overall religions are very low vibration. By the way, his vibration and his belief is lower than the religious institutions. That was funny. So here's this guy telling me, and I disdows him. He was like a 1, which is like, ugh, you don't want a 1 in your life. And then it goes up to religious institutions like the Catholic Church, Presbyterian, Evangelicals, Buddhism, Hinduism, all the sects, all of them, Jainism, all these religions are really low vibration, all of them. But the avatars that founded the religion, who brought the spiritual message, they're really high. They're like, most of them are 10s. And so as soon as the avatar is buried, man starts rewriting the religion. And and that's the issue. That's the issue. So I have some incense burning. So if you see wisps of smoke behind me, that's the incense, and those things. Now, this is a serendipity type reading today, and I'm going to make it a little longer. I'm using this company that allows me to go live. So I had a couple tsunamis over the years, the last 2 years, and I can't remember. But I had another one. What was it last? I had another flood. I can't remember. I should really write down my notes before I talk. Anyway, a friend of mine had a dream, and he gave me permission. I can say this dream. And he had 2. And we both have water dreams, and I've noticed other people have had tsunami-type dreams. And so let's just douse it quickly. So mine was, you remember my tsunami? One of them was, I was walking along the California beach, a particular beach, and a tsunami popped out of the ocean, and my thought was, I'm dead. There's no way. It's right on top of me. And that's true with tsunamis. If you're right by walking the beach and a tsunami pops up, you're not going to make it. And it was huge. It was really, really, it was the biggest wave ever. And then later that night, I re-dreamt that sort of thing. And then we had the volcanoes going off, everything was imminent. But in Dreamscape, imminent could be a year or two. So it's a little bit different time sequence. Anyway, this person I was talking to, now someone, oh, I had the berms, the dikes in California, Louisiana, and Florida. They got these, they all have dikes and berms holding in the water, and it's really good for rice paddy fields, and they can control the water in the rivers with them and things like that. And the dream showed me where I was, and I couldn't figure out. It was the Google Map type satellite, and I was trying to figure it out, and I'm sorry I couldn't figure it out where the location. I think it's both a metaphor and an actual place. So there could be some levees breaking somewhere in the country, and it was huge. It covered a lot of landmass. It's going to be a big location. And anyway, a friend of mine had a dream not long ago, two. One recent. One was a huge tsunami, and all the cars and radios and computers and all the material things are in the wave, just being sucked up and taken out. To me, that's the belief system of the consumer society, our culture we have, and or it could be just the economy, just going to be washed away. And then he had one maybe a couple days ago where the water was up to. He was in a 5-story building, and he lived on the 5th floor in this particular dream. And in one moment he's looking out at the ocean, and then he comes back out and he looks again, and the water level rise to the top floor, and everybody was wrestling up to get to his floor. Now he's a fairly high conscious individual, so see, he's higher as well. He's higher in his life. He can see things coming, as we all do. We're kind of having a good feel which way this is going, and that's what this signing this bill is about. It's really a physical warning to everyone out there. The government believes something is coming. All these politicians believe something is on us. That's why there is really no debate. They just made up this bill and stuck it through and made everybody happy. Whether any of it's going to manifest, probably not. It's like this huge project in New York, it won't be done. It's not a priority issue, but everybody in New York will feel happy. We're gonna have tunnels coming from New Jersey and things like that. So, and then actually his dream is kind of similar with mine, with the sea level rising 12 feet in Florida. Remember that one? I came to the beach and the sea level, it was a pane of glass though. Now a lot of this is also the economy. Like the real estate market is underwater. See, he's walking out into the roof, he's underwater. Everything else is underwater. The water, all the consumer goods, the radios, the computers, they're like in the wave of this energy coming through. I actually think, let's go. let's just look at, is this a metaphor? Okay, that one with all the stuff. Is that the economy? Is that a metaphor for the economy? Yeah. Is that a metaphor for something actually happening with water? No, it's 15%. So for the one with let's say, all the consumer goods in the huge tsunami wave, tidal wave coming through, that's the economy. And then I did a quick, someone asked me to do I don't do tarot as much as I used to. I mean, I just do it for myself for quick 3-card spreads and things. So you guys are better. All right. So I got the Prince of Wands with death, transformation. So big changes are coming. This is about the United States, this particular one, okay? All right. So that's an important one. This is the mini 3 cards. All right. Prince of Wands. So I got the coming in the near future, Ten of Swords, cheerful card. This is the axe in the forehead card. That's probably the one I got when I said I was fired. You're fired. I get those all the time. I don't. So we're leaving in the past. I'm sorry, I'm doing this myself. He's waiting for battle, and the battle comes. I'm going to get the Ten of Swords. We don't know what to do as a country. Look at this, all these choices. See all the choices. This is by the way, the Seven of Cups. That's coming too. That's here and now. This is right on top of us. Okay, what's our environment? The environment is the Hermit for the United States. We're really not paying attention. We're looking inward. We're consumed by transgender issues that are really not important, because that's what the ruling class wants. They put up all these red herrings to keep your focus. Everything on TV is to get your focus off what's happening in your life. And then Two of Wands, you're kind of waiting for things to come back. The outcome is, of course, the Five of Discs. It's kind of self-explanatory. So that's probably about the economy. See, this is with the United States. This is not. And I think they're kind of freaking out. Now, some people, and I've always had this debate for the last 20 years, can this system be reformed? Can we reform this to make the changes necessary to get us back on track? And I think we see this, and we all wish for this in Trump. Or does the whole thing have to come crashing down and burn down to the ground and we rebuild it? I hate to say it, I always thought you couldn't reform the system. The beast is in us. It's sucking the life drain. It's very efficient. It's very good at protecting itself, as we can see. So we brought this white knight, Donald Trump. He's supposed to come here and be our savior. And it's really beyond the scope of one man. It really is. But he's trying to do this. I always believed he had a big backing. Invisible. He has a spiritual backing as well as a military and things of that nature. I haven't doubted that in a while, but I just assume that no man, you're not going to go into the White House and think you're going to change. But the other side, the money people, Wall Street, Hollywood, the pornography in Hollywood, the pornography of the money in Wall Street, because it's not good business practices what they're doing. So everything is a scam, and it's all coming due. It's due. We're confronted with this, and I think they all see it. Something is close by, and we'll see what happens. But so this is for 3 months. This reading, I said, give me USA 3. And this is the outcome. All right, and of course, so it's going to be very difficult for the economy in the next 3 months. It'll be interesting to see if we should douse that. Did Trump sign this bill to prevent the stock market from being driven down? Because they drive this stock market up and down at will. There's no price discovery anymore on anything. And by the way, the election in November will be fraudulent as usual. And it's just a matter of, can we get a hold of the elections and change them in time, things like that. And the biggest fraudulent state is California. It's huge. It's like 24%. I douse that number all the time. So it's 24% for the Democratic Party. Now, of California. And that's why California is going to have a real hard time coming up too. And then, so if I project out 18 to 24 months, we're going to have really radical change. The size of the government in the next year will shrink a little bit, but significant, but a little bit. And then in 18 months, bam, just in 18. Everything is 18 months. Everything is 18 months. Even where, so I'm in the minority here. Trump's not going to get impeached. The people still support him. There's nothing to impeach him for. He's trying to make changes, and no one's letting him do it. So is it worth to him to have his family wiped out, his business wiped out? Does his side of the equation, his backing, have the strength to prevent from being wiped out? So I think this bill is like an insurance policy for himself. I'll just sign it because, in his view, it saves his family and it saves the country a civil war to an extent. So if we can delay the civil war, we're just going to run into economic issues anyway that need to be fixed. And that's why I still see he didn't get the wall, he didn't get his immigration change. It doesn't matter. They're all gonna go. He's going to use policy, and all the illegals are going to leave, a lot of them, and we're going to see more and more. But someday it's going to be like a dramatic. It's going to be like a dramatic shift, and it'll just. And we should see something like between now and 6 months, but definitely in a year to 18 months. All right, and I'm talking issues like 50% of the illegals gone in 18 months. And we said this similar figure back a year when Trump got elected. We were trying to figure it out. And I was getting the same things. It's like 18, 24 months, a little bit more. But it's all coming to a head as we come around to next spring. It's going to be a whole different world. A whole different world. And as we go into the summer of 2019, it's going to be dramatic changes. All these questions, it will make sense what I was talking about. And well, how do you prepare? You are responsible for yourself and your family. That's what it comes down to. The government's not going to be there. And the one thing I think Trump is doing is preventing the government from interfering in your own survival. Because the government people, they're going to be protecting themselves. And most studies of, change like that, let's say rapid change in your environment, well, the police go out and protect themselves. They gather up money and food and things like that. So I think what Trump is doing is he's trying to decouple the power of federal people, state people, and people. At least you have a chance. You can focus on yourself. There's a little bit of hope in that Trump can transform this society fast enough that we won't have these changes. All right, so dramatically. But I'm kind of all my dowsing. I'm just passing on. All these dreams are kind of pointing to it's going to be really, really bumpy. I don't think, and I think that's why Trump signed the bill. We don't need to argue over many of these issues that don't have a long-term effect anyway. This is a fait accompli. We're going to go in a certain direction. And he wants to focus his energy on making the changes he can that will have the greatest impact on the average citizen. Okay, so we did that. And then, let me see. What did I say? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I remember. 1, 2, 3. I did 3 more cards. And then I got the fourth was a Wheel of Fortune, which is like another mini spread of the outcome. And this is really about fate. And it depends what you're next to in some ways, What do I got here? It's sort of fate. We can't avoid it, what's coming. And it's going to come. And that's all I have to say. My dowsing I did a year ago said have about 2 weeks in your pantry. So for the average American. If you're in Portland, you need 6 to 8 weeks. And if you're a young person and you got some money, Kansas always comes up. Kansas is a tough place to live, though. But it's going to do well, for its economy. It might be about because it's so food-based. It's all that wheat and food they produce. And I think that the cost of commodity like wheat and corn, I haven't done it in a while, but it's either this summer or next. I don't know. It's going to go up like to 750 a bushel for corn, things like that. Which is, whoops. Let me want to do that real quick. Let's just take a look because that's important. I got all the cards on top of my dowsing, but so it's going to be change. It's going to be about. I feel sorry for the guy. He had to leave a comment. He's an atheist. He thinks he's smart, and he's just like, I don't know why atheists have the will to live. Really, if you don't have that spiritual component, and he's mixing it up with religious, those are two different worlds. As I said, the religious, fine. If you want to do it, just be aware that it's a lower vibration. It's not going to be like your what you see and feel in your life, towards animals and dogs and your chickens and the world, how you interchange with people. It's really a spiritual, which is you are a soul in this clay body, and you're traveling, and when you die, you just move on. And it's really important how you react to this life this time around. And it's really a good time to make a lot of soul progress. And I think religion, there's a finality to your spiritual journey, and it's not. It goes on and on. You have incarnations on other planets. It just is, And if you hear this, it should be like, does it feel like it's true? Versus an atheist, you listen to an atheist, and it's like they don't have any spiritual experiential component to their life. They're shutting it down, and they need to do the opposite. That's where the secret is. They have to open their imagination and their heart chakra to really feel and see and just swim in this, and then they'll have a better understanding. I don't think you want to die vibrating at a 1, as it were. And that's where their consciousness is. And some of these people are brilliant. They're physicists, they got all these PhDs. And that's the other point of a spiritual life. It butts up against our logical world, like physics and mathematics, academia is over here. Can you serve two masters? And I try to balance the two. And it's very, very difficult. I'm borderline thinking it's impossible. But that's the way this culture's set up. You kind of like, well, I'll go live in this world. I'll get a paycheck. But I'll live my spiritual component. I'll keep it from other people, like at the work. Unless someone's, of my bent and we can explore and things like that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say today. What started all this was Trump signing the bill, which is proof that something very big is on the horizon. At least they believe it. That's how I see it. I go, this is significant because he didn't care about anything. And he feels he's going to recapture most of the people, 70% of those who abandoned him. It will go that way. All right. Thank you very much. And I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.